So I'll be showing you how to modify the Leapfrog Get Ready for School book. And I really like these books because they pretty much have the touch and speak option on it. Unfortunately, of course, they don't have the Braille. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to actually add Braille so that it lies exactly over it. So the first thing you want to do is you actually want to start making copies of all of the pages. And so right now we're going to go ahead and do the last page. It is the music studio. And just to show you guys how it is, let's go ahead and turn it on.
Hi, friend. Touch the pictures to learn about the instrument.
So pretty much it has the word, it has the picture. So when you touch
Accordion,
it tells you what it is.
cello, piano, electric guitar, drum,
Whoops.
trombone.
And then if you change the levels, it's some different sounds. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. So obviously this is a great book. The only drawback is that it doesn't have any Braille. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and make a photocopy, which I did. So I made a photocopy of exactly what the page is, and I do this for each and every page. And so this kind of guides me on, first of all, where to Braille and where to cut, because with these books you want to make sure that you are in the near vicinity, just so that you're touching the area so that you get the appropriate feedback. So you want to go ahead and grab your Braille label, and then you're going to go ahead and put it actually behind your photocopy, and then you're going to go ahead and put it inside your Brailler. So now that it's actually inserted into your Brailler, you could go ahead and move and go ahead and Braille what the words are. So now you'll notice that we're actually going to go ahead and Braille right above the words, and then I'm going to go ahead and pause the rest and then show you what it looks like afterwards. So now that I went ahead and finished the Braille, I'm going to go ahead and cut along the edges. And one of the tips that I would definitely give you guys is when you guys are cutting, you want to make sure that you have an exact location of something just so that you could have some form of measurement. So when you do lay the Braille overlay, it matches directly along with the pictures. So I went ahead and cut around the edges, and so that way when I put the actual copied over, it lines up pretty well. And so that way it kind of gives me the guide on when I do put the Braille over that it would actually fit along where the appropriate spots are. So after you lay down, you want to make sure that everything is perfectly lined up. So that way when you do press the buttons, let me turn it back on.
Hi, friend.
So you could actually feel the word in Braille. So that way you could actually experience the book. And so once we go ahead and Braille takes all of the pages, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to differentiate the little slots on the actual little pictures. So one way to actually differentiate between the little cells is actually using just simple washi tape. So I purchased this type of washi tape, and it comes with its own dispenser, and it comes with different colors. They have pastel colors, they have primary colors, they have neon colors, etc., etc. They have like glitter colors, they have thicker tapes, thinner tapes. So I really like this one. It's $10 at Michael's, and you could use like the 40% off coupon to get it. But what I do is I actually laid it down on the actual pages so that it differentiates between the cells. And because I have an assortment of the colors, it doesn't make it too, I guess, shockingly different. And so, your kid could definitely feel included and not like they're standing out. So I used the orange washi tape on this one. And then let's see, I think I used the green one. So then here's the green washi tape. It's flat enough to the point where, it's not going to interfere with the pages, but there's enough of a tactile feel where you could actually differentiate between all of the cells. So just to demonstrate what it looks like.
Hi, friend. Cut white and blue.
Oops, sorry, touching the wrong page.
Touch the pictures to learn about a yellow bee. A beehive. Pink worm. Dirt. Pink dirt. Pink worm.
And the good thing that I like about these Leapfrog books is if you don't get the Braille directly on top of the word, that's fine. Because as long as you touch somewhere within that cell, you'll get that auditory feedback. I'm gonna turn that off. And so that's why it's good to have that washi tape to differentiate where each of the cells are. I'm gonna go ahead and do that for the rest of the book, just so that you could separate each of the pictures. It's not necessary, but for my child, who's only 4, it would definitely make it a lot easier for him. So these are all 4 of the Leapfrog Touch and Learn books that I've modified. Out of the 4, I do love the Blue's Clues book the best. I think it's adorable. Just turn it on. So pretty much, you braille all the pages, and you just touch the page, and it will actually read the little saying to you. So
Blue wants to read a book from her shelf. Blue wants let's play Blue's Clues to figure out which book Blue wants to read.
So as you're touching the braille, it actually reads what's actually written on it. And as the child is exploring and feels the braille, wherever they touch, they'll actually get some type of auditory feedback. And so now that they're talking about the bedroom, here are some bedroom objects that you would find in your room. So you've got like
rug, toys, bed, glove, blocks, slippers, books, stool.
And so pretty much even if you don't touch exactly where the word is, if you touch in that vicinity, it'll still say it.
Living room. Let's explore. Living room. Mail time.
So pretty much anywhere you touch on the page, you'll get some type of auditory feedback.
Blue got a letter. It's yellow. Guitar. Plants. Lamp. Letters. Pillows. Window. Lamp. Chair.
And again, depending on what setting you leave it at.
Yellow. Window. 2. Plants.
So the third thing with the music, it tells you what sound it makes. So I really like that one because of that. And then at the end, so you go to the narration button.
The cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed, and the dish
So again, even though they're not,
with
trailing the
spoon.
braille because they're too young or whatever reason, they could still just tap it or touch it, and it'll still read what it says.
The dish ran so long.
So the other 2 books that are pretty similar are both the 100 words book. So here's the 100 words, and this one is the 100 animals books. So they're pretty much laid out the same, square pages, and then each page is categorized with something, and let me turn it on, I guess. And they pretty much have the objects in little circles.
Touch a picture, lion,
I did not add washi tape on this one just because, 1, I did get lazy, and 2, it was all in circles, and so I, figured my son would be able to find it as is. Now, keep in mind, when you guys do braille these books, I usually like to use an entire sheet and then cut out. Even though it's, you could use labels to label each individual word, I like having the whole piece of braille on because that way it's really difficult to peel off. I've learned in the past if you just label each word individually that it does tend to peel easily. So I just use one entire sheet and then just braille it, hence the reason why I use the photocopy. And so the animal book is similar. It reads the name of the animals. And again, even if you don't press right over the word or press the braille, as long as you're in that vicinity, it will read it. Okay. And then here's the book from earlier, the Get Ready for School book. So you'll see that the washi tape has been complete.
We get to eat yummy food at 8. She's 10, 9.
And this one I did add the washi tape just to differentiate between the cells. And the same thing, I did use an entire, I'm going to turn that off. I did use an entire sheet of braille and then cut around it after I photocopied it. And then I added the washi tape on top of it. Just a side note, with all of these books, you'll notice that they all have a colorful spine. These registers the pages and what's on the pages by it laying flat, and then the position of the little rings determines what's being read. And so one thing that I've noticed is, these are amazing books. They have great auditory feedback, but if you try to add any type of tactile element to it besides the braille, what happens is the pages don't lie completely flat and it won't register what's on it. So for example, I was planning on adding some of these shapes in foam or some type of glitter paper, but what happened is it caused the page that preceded it to not lay perfectly flat, and so it wasn't registering the words on the book properly. So I hope you guys get a chance to find these books if you guys are interested. They're definitely easy to braille. They're fun to braille, and my child absolutely loves them. So I hope that this video was helpful and that your child finds them as fun and as helpful as mine did. Thank you guys.